Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today's video will probably just be a bit shorter than the rest because I don't want to bore you with the same footage just repeated and repeated and lots of attempts, failed attempts. So I'll try to keep it as brief and concise as possible. It's more of a continuation on last week's video in terms of movement and stuff, but everything has progressed quite a long way since then. So in terms of the rotational side of things, as you can see here, we've now changed it so that whenever it's trying to get its position, it rotates to its nearest 90-degree angle. Once it's done this, it then takes the coordinate and then feeds that back into the loop. As you can see from here, this has been very successful and didn't actually take that long to implement. This is so that it doesn't keep having to rotate back to 0 degrees, which obviously takes more time. So once that was implemented, it was then moving on more to the linear movement and incorporating the rotation and the linear movement into one function. So as you can see, it is sort of working. So it rotates the angle that it needs to, moves forward to that. But at this early stage, it was then rotating at random points, just because of the readings at the gyro, and we've got so many angle systems at the minute being used that it was just getting a little bit confused and then continuously spinning. A lot of work went into trying to resolve this, and as you can see in a few minutes, this might be resolved. So as you can see, this has been resolved finally. So within the movement, it rotates to its coordinate that it needs to, and then moves forward for a maximum of 2 seconds, then stops, rotates to its nearest 90 degree, gets its coordinate, and then reruns the best route calculation to see how much it needs to rotate to get to its coordinate and the time that it needs to move for to get to a coordinate, and then chucks that back into the motors to execute that function. And then the process is continuously repeated until the tolerance is satisfied with a coordinate. So now changing scenery a bit, a few videos back, we went down to St. Luke's campus to look at the equipment that they had available for us to use for our testing. So within the last week now, we've been down again to the campus and set everything up as if this is going to be a final test, but that day was just a pilot, just to see whether we can get everything working with the robots, because little sensors as well had to be put on the robots so that the main cameras could read the robot's position. This is the data map that it produces, so this is the grid that the cameras give, and then I don't think you can quite see it, but on that grid there are markers where the robot is, and then for each marker there's an X, Y, and Z coordinate which is exported. So back on movement stuff, we've been able to integrate the rotation and the movement into one system now, and so that's working pretty well together. But as you can see here, at different points it's rotating more than 180 degrees, and so we ideally want to stop that so it's only rotating a maximum of 180 degrees and then moving forwards and backwards depending on that position. As you can see at the minute, it isn't working so well, and so a lot of work again was put into that later in the week to try to resolve those issues. Quite a bit of time later again, we've been able to resolve those issues, getting it to move less than 180 degrees every single time, so that it's picking and choosing the most efficient route to the coordinate. Having tried this in multiple different places around the small little bit of testing area which we've got in just a corner of one of the rooms, this seems to be working well and successfully, but again we need to further test it just to clarify that everything is working correctly. But at this stage there are good signs that no more changes need to be made to this side of things. Yep. Right guys, so that's it for today's video. I know it's been maybe a little bit repetitive, but within this next week there'll be lots of testing which will be filmed and edited and shown to you guys. So I hope you join me for that next Monday. Hope you have a good week.